crime is an issue that's going to be a problem, especially for some place like Jack London Square.
The city of Oakland has a reputation that is tough to shake, and cuts to public safety threaten to make things worse.
Does that scare you at all?
Yes, it does.
Today, we're asking what it will take to turn things around and looking at a grassroots effort to fight the negative headlines.
The narrative, the things that people have said about Oakland, are also part perception.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Elizabeth Cook.
I'm Ann Makovec, and today we are checking the pulse of one of the Bay Area's biggest cities, Oakland. From a new county district attorney to a revolving door at City Hall, we're speaking with a local faith leader about where things stand and what he hopes is next. Today, Oakland mayoral candidate and former city councilman Lorne Taylor presented his plan to revitalize Oakland and help small businesses if he is elected. He says it starts with one major change.
We can't solve these structural challenges by phoning it in. We can't solve these structural challenges by zooming it in. That's why, as part of my plan to revitalize Oakland and support small businesses, I am calling for the city of Oakland to reopen fully City Hall.
Taylor's plan also includes a dedicated OPD unit for retail and property crimes, a vacant to vibrant program to fill empty storefronts, and a requirement for all organizations seeking to influence City Hall to register as lobbyists for transparency. Now, Taylor is among more than a dozen candidates for Oakland mayor, along with former East Bay Congresswoman Barbara Lee. They're all going to face off in a special election in April to replace the now recalled Mayor Sheng Tao, who's being charged in a federal bribery scheme. A big challenge for whomever ends up mayor is going to be Oakland's nearly $130 million budget deficit. Part of the solution right now is the temporary closure of 2 fire stations in the Oakland Hills, and more closures could be on the way. Our Lauren Toms talked with concerned neighbors and city leaders.
When John Cook pulled up to this firehouse on Grass Valley Road in Oakland, he had a plan to try to save it from closing.
I was going to ask them, how can we support you? We're keeping this station open. I had no idea.
But he was shocked to learn that it was too late. This firehouse closest to his home was one of 2 to temporarily close as Oakland tries to remedy a nearly $130 million budget deficit. But for John, who uses a wheelchair, it's a terrifying reality as he takes in stories from those in Southern California of not being able to evacuate on time. Does that scare you at all?
Yes, it does, because you have to come up to get into this area.
The closures are expected to lead to an increased response time for emergencies. That sounds alarm bells for Fire Union President Seth Ollier.
Folks in the affected districts are going to be waiting double or triple the amount of time for help when their heart stops or they can't breathe or their house is on fire. We are in dire straits, and this is a matter of life and death.
Both Engine 25 and 28 that have already shuttered their doors were some of the first on scene back in October when the Keller fire broke out. And even the fire chief admitted it may have been a much different scenario had the stations been closed when that fire broke out.
The amount of work that they did initially made the difference between saving the houses up on Campus Drive versus we would be talking about a very different experience with tens of millions of dollars in fire loss and potentially lives lost.
Dennis Adams lives just a couple of miles from where the Keller fire broke out. He says the area by Engine 28 is a popular dumping site for cars that are often set ablaze with combustible materials nearby.
The difference between a fire really spreading and potentially destroying a hillside versus a fire being put out right away, right down the street, could be this firehouse being open and not being open.
He and others are calling on elected officials to reconsider the closures. Ken Houston is the newly elected council member for District 7. He tells me he's committed to finding the funds to reopen the station in his district.
They said they would keep it closed for approximately that 5 month, 6 month period, 5 months, and then they will close another one and reopen this. That's not good enough for me. Let's open it back up in 3. I'm not saying it will, but I'm gonna push the envelope to open it back up.
But as he looks in the windows of the vacant station that's already had one break-in, he's volunteered to protect it himself with a warning to looters.
You got a new sheriff in town. I'm gonna drive up here and check it out myself. I'm gonna roll through. I have some of my staff roll through. I see something that is not, look, they got this. Look, this is hopeful to me.
Now, Councilmember Houston also told me he has been in touch with interim mayor Kevin Jenkins, who he said is also committed to reopening these fire stations. But at this point, it remains unclear where additional funding may come from or what other programs may be cut.
Well, despite its hardships, there is much more to Oakland than its bad rap. Coming up, the recipe that some restaurant owners have cooked up, hoping to bring people to the town. All right, taking a live look from our chopper over San Jose. Back to that breaking news we've been covering. Live pictures here over Story and King Roads. That is where a protest is ongoing. Demonstrators still blocking the intersection. They're protesting the Trump administration's immigration policies. The president promising things like mass deportations and cutting down on border crossings. Well, the CHP has closed the on-ramps to 101 and 680 as we get closer to the prime commute hour. This could be more of an issue. We're going to continue to keep an eye on that. Alameda County supervisors meeting right now to appoint a new district attorney to finish out the term of recalled DA Pamela Price. 7 finalists are trying to become the county's top prosecutor, and they made their case to the public at a community forum this weekend. Candidates include local prosecutors, a city attorney, and a judge. The person selected will serve until the 2026 midterm election. A lot of people who voted to recall Price felt that she was too soft on crime. City of Oakland actually reported a decrease in crime last year, down 30%, but crime is still a concern. Just recently, an employee from a restaurant called the Best Dim Sum and Pastry in Little Saigon was beaten near his work after trying to stop a homeless man from vandalizing the business. The owner later suffered a heart attack and died at the hospital.
There's no business that's off limits no more. You know, we used to protect these types of landmark businesses, but it's open season over here.
Community members say the owner was known for speaking up about public safety concerns in his neighborhood. Police in Oakland tell us an arrest has been made, but they are still investigating. The city of Oakland, of course, no stranger to negative headlines, but now some local businesses are trying to flip the script. The town's booming food scene has become one of the most exciting ways to celebrate Oakland's many cultures. Our Kelsey Thorad spoke with several business owners who are helping to redefine Oakland's reputation.
What better way to showcase the energy and joy of a city than through its food? That's the newly launched Oakland Restaurant Collective's vision, when they hope their brand, Savor Oakland, will inspire.
It's the one thing that is arcane in who we are. It is, we always have broken bread.
Paul Iglesias is a founding member of the collective. He also owns 2 restaurants in the city.
And I also own Jaji, which is a contemporary Afghan restaurant. Both I own with my wife.
Paul says he and a few other restaurant owners decided to create the collective, not only to help the restaurant industry in the city, but to help bring Oakland's reputation back up to what they believe the city has always been.
The narrative, the things that people have said about Oakland, are also part perception, if that makes sense. There's a way for us to be able to trigger and talk about things that are negative, and then other people will say that those things are negative, whereas it's almost like the same story that gets circulated. But the truth of the matter is that there's quite a bit that we're doing that has always been positive and has been positive for a long time.
Restaurant owners like Paul and Michelle McQueen say they know Oakland has experienced issues with crime and safety in recent years, but say every city has. Their goal is to get people back out exploring Oakland to see just how much good still remains.
Let's come together, let's work on this, let's show them the positive influences that we have here in Oakland. Let's show them that the crime has gone down significantly, and it's okay to come out. You know, come out with your people, have a good time, have a good drink, have a good meal, have a great experience.
Food is at the heart of every city. Both Michelle and Paul say it doesn't hurt that Condé Nast named Oakland the #1 best food city in the country last October. Their hope is to ride that wave into a new era for Oakland and show everyone just how much this city has to offer.
Oakland is a place for everyone to come to, and we want everyone to come. Everyone that wants to be a part of Oakland, come be a part of our community.
All right, joining me now is Bishop Bob Jackson from Acts Full Gospel Church in Oakland. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Ann.
So we know the city is on its third mayor since December. Has this sort of revolving door at City Hall affected how things are working in Oakland?
Absolutely. Because the instability of our leaders has been really detrimental, I think, to our city, to the health of our city, and to the resurgence of our city, which we all look forward to. And we hear great reports that crime is down and things is wonderful and whatnot, but a lot of us that live out here, we don't see that. We really don't see that. I think we still have a problem with crime, certainly have a problem with police officers. We certainly have a problem with the direction of this city, with who's in charge, who's the leadership, what's going on, and certainly need to get past the leadership that we've had. So the point of it is we have a lot of repairing to do of things that have occurred in this city. And we need the ultimate in leadership right about now in the city of Oakland.
What qualities should that leader have? We know that we're eventually going to get at least semi-permanent mayor and also a new district attorney. What are you looking for in them?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. We're looking for a unifier. We're looking for someone that can hit the ground running, and that can unify the city, the leadership of the city, the community, the businesses, and all that's involved with the city of Oakland. We need a unifier, one that's really coming together, not for special interest group, not because they're getting special monies from people, and not because they're trying to make a political career out of this position in Oakland, but serious unifiers that's coming to do a job for the people of Oakland for a change. We need a person that's really going to stand for the people and make sure that we get the kind of services that we need here in the city of Oakland.
Yeah, it does seem like this is a defining moment. I know you've been in Oakland for a long time. How would you compare this time and space to what we've seen historically in the city?
I've been here 79 years, to be honest with you. Okay.
Wow.
I've been here all of my life, and I don't plan on going anywhere. But what am I seeing? Well, I've never seen Oakland in the shape it's in right now. I've never seen it, that even when the kingpins were operating and all that was going on, the crack epidemic and all that we've had, I've never seen Oakland in a worse situation than it is in right now. So that leader that's coming up, it's got to be aggressive, it's got to be assertive, it's got to be a person that has integrity, people that are connected, that they can bring in the kind of monies that we need, the revenues that we need in order to get our city back on the right foot. And because of the last administration that we had, it's just chaotic right about now. And the confusion that the community is having on who's leading, what are we doing? We need to get rid of ranked choice voting. Can I say that? We need to get rid of the Measure X. And we need to go back to the city management form of government along with the city council. I think we could do a whole lot better if we go back to the way we used to run the city.
So a lot of this going back way before the last administration. I mean, what do you think went wrong?
Well, I think, be honest with you, I think Measure X made it wrong. I think from Measure X, when Jerry Brown was the mayor, it started going down, 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 down. Because one of the things that's a problem with the strong mayor form of government is there's no way that we can tell whether that new mayor with that Measure X, with all that power, know anything about running the city. You can't put anybody up to run the city and they don't know how to run the city. That's why we had city managers. City managers were educated. They had experience on running cities and running them effectively. We had 3 major sports teams in Oakland, and all of that's gone now. And I think it started with that strong Measure X. We need to get rid of that, along with ranked choice voting. And we need to make sure that all the citizens of Oakland vote. Please go out and vote so we can get the kind of leadership that we need to run the city. Not the people that that you think you can get some money out of, but people that really have a heart for this city to make it the great city that we know it to be.
All right, Bishop Bob Jackson, really appreciate your perspective. We'll be talking about it again soon, I'm sure. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, so we're doing an Instathon on our Instagram right now so that you can donate and help out with the American Red Cross with all the wildfire situations that happen down in Southern California right now. A lot of people need help. So I want to show you on Instagram just kind of how to do this. We're already on our Instagram page right here. It's KPIX TV. You just click on that first photo, and then what you could do is you'll click on fundraising for American Red Cross. At that point, you'll click the donation button again. You'll cover the processing fees. You just push continue, and it brings you to your last page, just to the checkout page. So you're able to donate as much as you want. That's what I'm gonna do right now, and if you guys could help out, it would mean so much to our friends down in Southern California.
Yeah, be sure to join us, CBS News Bay Area on Instagram. That is where you can donate to wildfire relief. We're partnering with the American Red Cross to try to help people on Instagram. Again, you can just click on fundraising for American Red Cross. Thanks for watching. You can always get all the latest headlines and weather over on Pix Plus. And remember to like and click the button on the bottom left of your screen to subscribe for the biggest Bay Area news.